My wife was always a jealous woman. It was 7:45 on a Friday night. Truthfully, I got home from work at 7:30. I was just sitting there for 15 minutes, staring at the kitchen light shining through the window on this dark evening, and feeling the sense of dread that radiated from that house. Her house. My wife Megan was an amazing girlfriend. Cool, laid back, sexy. The kind of girl to throw back beers with you at the tailgate. Everything I ever wanted, but everything I never got. From the second I married her, her ungrateful ass has been nagging, jealous, insecure, dead in the bedroom, and not going out with my friends unless I want to be in the doghouse. I look at the house that I once considered mine, and as I watch the lace curtains in the window, I feel my blood boil with resentment, knowing that it's now her house. I took a deep breath and stepped out of the car. I instinctively reached for my pocket to check my phone, and I remember why I had been waiting in the car for so long. I left my phone at home that day with Meg. There was no way she didn't read through my texts or emails or browser story. Hell, she probably looked through my Amazon purchases. She never trusted me for shit. I sighed and I walked to the door while my mind was screaming at my body to drive away and never come back. I hesitantly turned the doorknob and opened the door to my wife's house. As I opened the door, a gust of the scent of my favorite meal wafted into my face, a beef roast in the slow cooker. Meg hasn't made this since she told me she dented my car. I was immediately suspicious.
Hi, honey. Welcome home.
I hear her sickly sweet voice call me from the kitchen. I hesitantly walked in and I saw her standing up next to the slow cooker, chopping up some carrots and humming "Build Me Buttercup." It's a song. She did it softly. Her long brown hair was perfectly curled. She was in a skin-tight pink dress. If I weren't so cautious, I would have been drooling over her. Pot roast, huh? I said with a chuckle, trying to play it cool. She responded with a smile, in a sing-songish tone.
Oh, by the way, you left this here today.
She said and handed me my phone. I took it from her hand, not breaking eye contact with her. The look that she gave me was unsettling, like the coy expression of someone who knows a secret you don't. I hid my nerves and I opened my phone. I go to my text messages with Tony. That's Tony, Tawny. Just the same as I last saw. I love you, baby. I had messaged her right before bed.
I love you more, my dear.
She responded. I glanced up from the screen to my wife. She was stirring the roast, unaware of the little box of lies I held in my hand. She glanced up at me.
What?
She said with a chuckle and a small smile. Nothing, just admiring my beautiful wife, I said as I slipped the phone in my pocket. I changed my password monthly at this point, so maybe she hadn't figured it out.
Well, dinner is almost done. Why don't you have a seat?
She said with a nod towards the table. I walked over to the head of the table, and that's when I noticed it, the extra chair and an extra place setting. What's this about, baby? I asked her, pointing out a thumb to the extra place.
Oh, we're having someone for dinner.
She said excitedly as she walked over and set the crock pot gently on the table. She took my plate and put a heaping helping of roast on it. I was still suspicious of whatever she did that needs such an extravagant apology dinner for. She then takes her plate and gives herself a serving and sits down. So who's coming for dinner? I asked her with a confused tone. She just laughed and sat down. I look again at the empty place setting. Megan, seriously, who's coming for dinner? I asked again, a little frustrated at being ignored. She laughed again as she cut her roast and popped a bite into her mouth. She inhaled sharply and looked to the upper left of her vision as if she were thinking.
Why don't you tell me about Tony?
She asked with a smile as she cut off another mouthful. My heart drops and ice water runs through my body, knowing I had been caught. She's a colleague. I sputter out. Meg scoffs at me and says,
Yeah, I called her to send you a picture of her wreck.
she asks and stares intently at me. I drink some water to buy myself some time to think of an answer. It's not like that, Meg. It's not like that, I say sheepishly. I look down at my plate, onto the table, to start cutting aimlessly at the meal. Fidgeting makes me feel less anxious. It's only a matter of time before she flies off the handle.
I'm sure it's not. She's cute. I can't blame you. A hot little blonde 22-year-old. I'm sure she has not taught since she's such a slut. That's why you're willing to be her daddy, yeah?
She grills me as she punctures her roast with her fork and has another slice. The sound of her fork scraping her teeth was worse than nails on a chalkboard. I take a bite of my dinner as I mull over my next move. I chewed slowly to milk as much time as I could, and I came up with a way out of this. I begin the speech every person who's been in my situation tells. Meg, listen. Sorry, I didn't mean to...
No.
She cuts me off, and she stabs her fork into the roast and points at me.
No. You're not gonna do that. I'm not fucking stupid. It wasn't an accident. You did it. And now you're gonna face what you did.
She says to me. This statement catches me off guard. Why? What do you mean? I ask her, feeling like I'm finally getting the bottom of her antics.
Tony didn't know you're married, did she?
No, she didn't. I say as I stare down at my place and slowly chew another mouthful. Anything to stall the shame of admitting what I did. Truthfully, I don't even feel bad for lying to Matt. I feel bad for lying to Tony. I know Meg would never let me leave, so I'm just leading that sweet girl on.
Yeah, I figured as much. By the way, your birthday isn't a good phone password, you know?
she says to me before taking a sip of her Merlot wine.
It was so easy to text her and ask her if she wanted to have dinner with her sweet, sweet lover,
Isaac.
She says to me, still holding the glass to her lip and smiling. She isn't even looking at me, just looking off into the distance, like she's revealing her genius plan to get me caught. That's who's coming? Meg, come on. You're mad at me, not her. Why would you want to embarrass her like this? I lied, that doesn't make her a homewrecker, I said, quickly as I stamped towards the window and look out. I look out of it. Our street is pretty quiet, but she hasn't arrived yet and I can't see any cars coming. I didn't want her to find out and have her leave me. Tony is the last bit of love I have left in this pathetic existence I'm living. I don't want to lose her. I peered around the neighborhood as quickly as I could for any hint that she's arriving.
Isaac, sit down. Isaac, sit down.
She said sternly. No, this is bullshit. I can't really fucking believe you'd stoop this.
Sit
the fucking down!
She yells as she thrusts the carving knife into the table. Not wanting to piss her off more, and further, I obliged.
Here's how it's going to be. I don't want a divorce. We're going to be together forever like you promised me. Her getting cold loose is the only way. I'm not going to share my man. Not with a little whore like her.
She then says, Okay, well, we can talk about this, but she's not fucking coming here for dinner, I say, as I pick up my phone and I begin calling her number in hopes to come up with an excuse fast enough as to why she can't come home. Looking for another excuse to fidget, I hold my phone with my shoulder and I begin cutting the meat for another bite. That's when I hear it. The muffled ringing coming from the drawer under the sink. Huh? What the fuck? Was she already here, Meg? I ask. Meg starts laughing to herself. I open the drawer to see Tony's phone and the ring I got her for Valentine's Day. One of her birthstone earrings and worst of all, a little clump of wheat-colored hair tied up in a black ribbon. I look at my wife, seething with rage and hatred. Meg, what the fuck did you do? What did you do? What did you do? I ask her. She gets up and puts a firm and painful grip to the back of my neck and quickly guides me to the table. She sharply lurches my upper body forward too, and I'm parallel with the table hovering over the crockpot. She removed the lid, and when the stream cleared from my face, on the roast I see the vague shape I'm familiar with. A little butterfly on the roast, the one I've run my hands over many times. My stomach turns, and I feel lightheaded. Hot tears ran down my face and into the dish. It feels like all the air has been sucked out of my body. I could die right now. This can't be real. It can't be real. My wife leans so her lips almost touch my ear, and with that sickening, syrup-sweet voice whispers to my ear.
I told you. We were having her for dinner.